I'm in northern Italy, and this is the Dolomites. Oh, look at this beautiful parking job. There's the line. God, are you proud of this?
I am very proud.
You hit it, but I didn't.
This is 3 p.m. and we're in Belluno in northern Italy, and we're about to go into the Dolomites. So as a kid I was told not to get in a stranger's car and to not meet people from the internet. So if this video gets published, you can take it easy on those rules. That means I made it fine. This is Ori, by the way.
Hello.
Like Oreo, O-R-I-E, is that? No, okay. Oriana. Yeah, we're in this really fancy town called Cortina. We're seeing a lot of sports cars. Got a Porsche in front of us that we're trying to race. And it was really clear skies till like I think an hour ago, but it's starting to get a little bit rainy and cloudy. Hopefully it will be clear by the time we get to Lago Di Braies. So basically the rain slowed down a little bit and we were driving and we saw this really pretty lake, this one right here. So I figured we'd just stop for a second and take in some shots and some views. This is so gorgeous. Okay, so somehow it stopped being rainy when we got to our first spot, and now it's completely sunny, as you can see from my face. And we're at our first spot of the trip in the Dolomites, Lago Di Braies. It's really pretty alpine lake. It's a glacial lake, right? Let's say. Is this a glacial lake, you think? Like comes from a glacier? I think it's a glacial lake, but you can look that up. The water is really cold by my standards. Not by everyone's. It really is, and that's why I'm not swimming. Looks a lot like that lake in Montenegro, Crno Jezero, if you remember from the last video. It's just like the mountains are right next to the lake. So it's like a pretty nice backdrop. It's pretty sick. The lake's not massive. It's like 1 kilometer. I just checked on Google Maps, but it's still like pretty sizable. And I think you can walk around it. We're gonna walk around a little bit.
Pineapple?
Yeah. So people are. So we were talking about how bright and sunny it is literally like 20 minutes ago, and then while I was flying my drone it started raining and we kind of had to get shelter, so we're at a coffee shop right now. Just gonna get some cappuccino since we're still in Italy, although this part looks Germanesque in a lot of ways. Okay, so we found this little spot. It's like maybe 10 meters above the lake, where you can get a really sick view of the lake, and there's a bench, and there's a noisy dog on the bench right now.
Oh my god, you can hear thunder.
Yeah, and we can hear thunder, and the sky looks really dark right now, so we're probably gonna head back soon. Okay, it is starting to rain hard, so we're gonna rush back to the car before we get to it.
Yes!
Yeah. Okay, I think we're safe. It's almost 7 a.m. and there's a coffee machine in our guest house. There's some good coffee. And now we're gonna head to second spot in the Dolomites. Hopefully it's not gonna be rainy today. Let's see. Okay, we're stopping at this pretty little alpine town with a little lake next to it. So, or you can fill our water bottle. Maybe we'll get some snacks. Just driving to the next spot, and we going through this beautiful town, the Alps, and there's like huge mountains like that one right behind me all around us. This is so insane. I had to like get off and take some shots. Okay, so it's 10:54 a.m. and we're at the base of the cable car place. So if you're coming here in the summer, just really sunny right now, it feels like summer finally, plan your parking thingy in advance, because it took us a while because there's a parking lot right next to it with 250 spots and they're all taken, and there was like a bit of a traffic jam until we found the next spot. But now we got the tickets for like $40 or $42 each round trip, and we're heading up the cable car. Got the cable car to ourselves, and there's a dog losing its shit at the cable cars. Our cable car just stopped moving. This is some Final Destination shit. Maybe we don't make it.
Scary.
I had a good life till now.
Don't say that.
Parking was
Nobody's
the
bad.
hardest thing the last few days. I was scared when we were parking at times. But it's
But
been
not
good.
when I was driving.
It's only when she was driving. Wow, okay. Oh, we were moving, so we're fine. Got off the first cable car, now we're getting on the second one, and I'm rushing to get my ticket. We don't have a private gondola this time. The dog from the last one is here. Okay, we got out of the cable car, and the views are absolutely unreal. It's incredible. Okay, we're gonna try to go to those like jagged cliffs drifting off in nothingness. My back problems.
You're young enough to hike.
So the walk up to this place is also surreal. Okay, this is without a doubt one of the coolest things I've seen in my life, along with Akatanengo and the Himalayas. I've definitely never seen anything like this in my life so far. I thought Switzerland, the Matterhorn, would look like this, but Ori got offended when I compared it to the Matterhorn.
They're different. Can't compare.
Yeah. She's like, this is like some peasant village compared to Paris, or I don't know, what was the example that you used?
What does that mean?
Just wow.
They spell
it like. Hi. So we're walking to the jagged cliffs next to the clouds, and just this walk is also mind-boggling. It's so pretty. Climbing up to a bit of a vantage point on the side. Now we're going to a place that involves a bit more climbing. We crossed this fence to go to the hardcore part of the hike with my guide, local guide. snack break right on the edge of the cliff. Okay, so I think we're done being near the cliff edges today. We're gonna walk down to some refuges, I believe they're called, and they have like, not refugees, but refuges in Italian, I think. And they should have coffee and, why are you laughing? That's what it sounds like. We're gonna try to get some coffee and then like hike all the way back up there. Just a long hike to me. You're not really in the Alps unless you see some cows with bells roaming around. Taking a piss right now, Jesus Christ. Hope we're not breaking into someone's backyard. I think we found some llamas and goats. So we found this really cool restaurant with a really nice view in front of us, and we're just getting some lunch, cheese sandwiches, and cappuccino. It's not Switzerland prices, but it's like expensive than a Lidl or something like that for sure. And this is such a cool spot. Like when we were driving here, we could see the Alps and everything, and I think you can kind of see it from the top when you come to this restaurant. Like unless it's like this, which is literally one of the most beautiful places.
I know.
No one likes cinematic stuff, but food stuff people like. Nice cappuccino. Okay, we saw some buffalo. It's one good thing about this hike that we're doing. I think we're almost back at the cable car spot. Right, we're down from the cable cars, and now we're gonna head back. Okay, it's day 3 and it's 11 a.m. and we're gonna go to the most famous spot, or see the most famous things in the Dolomites, the Tre Cime, the 3 massive peaks. And we don't really have time for a long hike, and the weather might not support a via ferrata like we originally wanted to do, but I think we'll still get some sick views. We're almost to the last point we can drive to. Looks like Iceland, honestly. It's just like all rocks everywhere around us. Okay, we're at the base of Tre Cime, which means 3 peaks in Italian. Tre Cime di Lavaredo, sorry. And it's at 2,300 meters, which is like 8,000 feet for Americans, and it's a lot colder than I thought it would be. So I came here wearing shorts, and like walked 10 steps, and then up down there, and then like stripped down and changed into my jeans because it's pretty cold. My eyes are getting watery. I don't know if you guys can see this. I would say it's like 7 degrees or something. Maybe 10, right?
Yeah,
something.
it's really cold.
We're at the start of the hike, and there's this viewpoint which kind of gives you an idea of how high up we really are, because we can see the towns, the very far distance, like a kilometer below us probably.
I just can't remember if I started it this way or the other way.
So behind me is basically the mountains for the 3 peaks. The top is covered with clouds right now, and I don't think this is the best angle to see the 3 peaks. We're just on this trail that's very flat. You can kind of walk around all the mountains. So we're gonna go a bit further, see if we can get better views. So the views from this hike, just from this walk, are pretty incredible. There's lots of little puddles on this little trail, so you gotta be careful if you have non-waterproof shoes like me, because you don't want cold water on your socks. And we're guessing this is from either rain earlier, or it might be from the ice melting at the top, because we did see some small streams just running through the path earlier, and the top might be very icy, even in July, which is crazy. I think we see the 3 peaks behind me right there. I think I might take my drone out. So there's other mountains near the three peaks, which I thought were some of the peaks earlier, but as we walked a few kilometers, the three peaks are really the more pronounced, peaky, high columns, and then there's like other mountains next to it. So you don't have too much time. We're going on a little bit of a hike to a viewpoint, we think, and then we're gonna head back. So it's like a bit steep here, and then pretty flat in the front. So we went up this hike for a better view, and this whole like side opened up on the other side. We can kind of see the backside of the Tre Cime, the three mountains. And that's where the loop continues, and it goes kind of all the way around. But we don't have time for that because I'm gonna have to head back and catch my bus to Slovenia. Okay, we're back in the car and heading down south so I can catch a Flixbus to Ljubljana in a few hours hopefully. And I was trying to pack my bags in the back seat, and the windy roads made me a bit nauseous. I'm in the front and trying to talk to the camera to distract myself from that. That is it for this video. Like it if you liked it. Feel free to subscribe if you want to watch similar videos, and feel free to follow me on Instagram if you want to see real-time travel updates. Catch you guys in the next video from I don't know where, maybe Slovenia. We'll see.